We thought we'd just go by question. Thank you very much, by the way, and I know the conversations were really moving along. It's hard to stop. So we want to capture, really just from each other here, hear about what you talked about. So what is it? And the first question, what were some ideas, or what were some needs?
How do you find a collection?
Okay, how do you find a collection?
And how do you start that conversation and ask the right questions to understand the scope
Okay,
and their needs?
okay,
Help with marketing and technical support, making sure that you have all of the right equipment and operating it correctly.
equipment and yeah, and you know how to use it, yeah. And marketing, getting people there. What else? Yeah, thank you.
So along the lines that you were talking about yesterday in terms of cultural competency, someone in our group made a great point about how to do outreach and what not to do when reaching out to community organizations and how to do it in an appropriate and respectful way.
Great, great. So cultural competency, reaching out in ways that are effective and appropriate. What else?
How to find a way to gather the people around you and a resource that gets you so you can start those conversations on the regional level, and also maybe partners that could be the next step in the process. So once you do this first step, how do you have phases to have preservation or other goals that would go afterwards?
Okay, so looking at out of that, just that one activity, yeah.
I think you guys mentioned this earlier, but putting up a variety of different kinds of resources that would help folks figure out how to do the intros in the morning, because I feel like that has always helped put people on a kind of level playing field instead of there being experts and community members. Like everyone is a community member instead of everyone being divided, and everyone kind of has a similar set of knowledge. But just like a variety of different kinds of texts that people could draw from for their intros in the morning.
Yes, like presentations, you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also it would be cool if we could all be on a network together so we could talk to each other and share resources and find partners for projects that we might be doing in similar regions. Or
Yeah.
so we were talking about a Slack channel, but there's problems with the Slack channel because for some people it's too high of a tech bar or it's scary.
Yeah.
But it would be cool if we could find some way to talk to each other.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're talking both about like informational needs and also skills and in this. So I don't know that we need to be so put everything in the right category or whatever, but maybe yeah, I think when we run out of room on this one. So so I'll just go to the second question. Some people mentioned skills, negotiation skills, skills in terms of communication, communicating with groups, cultural competency. Were there other things that were like those kind of soft things where if you were at a training, you would more want to practice perhaps, or you would want to, learn in a different way than to, like getting a list of supplies is or becoming, so it's more about competencies and more about skills. Did your group have any specifics for this, other than the ones that we're already talking about? Yeah.
Well, in our group, we heard really interesting examples of ways of learning and ways of teaching, and it was just really interesting to hear about it's like learning circles and reciprocal learning models, and as Nicole brought up an interesting the GNU software licensing model as sort of ways of exchanging knowledge. And, so yeah, I guess it's not just, it's sort of a more meta thing, but how do we share knowledge during the workshops and between the workshops?
So it's both within the workshops and afterwards as well, or more mostly within the design of the workshop?
Yeah, both. Yeah.
Both. Okay, good. Yeah. Anybody else in terms of skills that we haven't talked about?
We talked a lot about pairing already skilled volunteers with the task at hand, rather than trying to teach everything from scratch.
So pairing the volunteers, pairing the people with more knowledge and people who are learning. And so about learning how to do that, what would be some of the criteria or whatever, or how you would be want to make those work? Yeah. Yeah.
And how to manage expectations for what can be accomplished in a single day,
Mm-hmm.
and how we follow up with that.
Yeah.
setting a scope and a scale was key
Scope
on
and
our
scale.
discussion.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't say this in my group, am I allowed to say it here?
Yes.
Mona, you and I were talking about this last night. I think, from my perspective as someone who's done some of this work and failed miserably in some very particular tech spreadsheets and like how to not fuck up the date field, just basic, like Excel is way more complicated than it needs to be.
That's why we use Google Forms.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess the three, but if you don't have good Wi-Fi, like we were having a lot of
It is
problems.
tough,
We were having a lot of problems. I mean, some people do spreadsheets where some people that organize these do spreadsheets where you hand out the spreadsheets, people, they collect them at the end and merge them. Other times we've used Google Forms, and other times we've used paper forms. Everybody has different opinions about this, and I think, it often goes to the work of the organization. You don't want to create extra work for them, but then again, some places have like tons of volunteers who can do like paper to spreadsheets, and sometimes we've done that in the actual workshop.
So maybe just some general, like, here's how you can gather the metadata that you're going to gather. Here are some models. Here are some pros and some cons to each of the models.
Yeah, and so how you figured that out with your group, that you're working with,
As a newbie to this, I'm trying to figure out, is there a skill to really assessing when a community is ready for what the CAW does? And if there's a skill or a need ever to adapt what CAW does to meet the needs of particular communities that may be in a different part of their life cycle of creating media.
Excellent, that's a really good point. And we probably do that in some way, but we don't really talk about how we do it. So maybe we can move on. I mean, not to stop you, because you can add things anytime, we'll work it out. But we had the third question, which is, we have the website, we have the handbook, we have some templates. Did you come up with some other things you thought would be really helpful that would be more aggregated kind of in resources? Yeah.
I was going to say, to address Carlton's question, I wonder if there is a way, an opportunity for CAW to come in, or at the early stages of production when people know they're going to start producing these things, like how to set up file naming conventions and like storage and how to just like, is there a chance, just so like a different perspective. But also, I wonder if there's ever a screening. I know that equipment is one of the issues why they have to be there, because they might have all the other stuff, but I wonder if anyone's ever done a screening. I know when you do it with a conventional media, there's limited time and you're exhausted.
Yeah, we do actually do screenings sometimes, that's short, at least the ones I've worked on, especially outside of EMEA, we do like short thing, and also like at lunch sometimes, playing things. But your first point.
To the getting in.
Yeah.
That's outside.
Okay.
I'll move it up.
Yeah. So anything else that you think, or
I think also having some sample short video, videos where volunteers who are coming to the event may just want to watch a short tutorial beforehand, so they realize, oh, hey, I can do this.
Right.
I don't have to have a mastery of, or be formally trained in moving image preservation. That, it is relatively simple, and I can participate.
That's
So
great.
it's like a promotional video that way.
Mm-hmm. And I think I was thinking while you were talking, Melissa, that we've been very experimental with the EMEA ones. I feel like we've tried a lot of different types of collections, and it's very different when it's mostly a film collection, and it's mostly video that you're not watching, video that you're watching, and now digital stuff. So they're all different in terms of the needs. What we need to know, how we can share it in a good way. So that's going to be challenging, but good.
We also talked a lot about how useful all the templates and informational resources are, about how there's not really a substitute for having somebody to be able to representatives to be able to help walk you through, connect with more experienced CAW members, because again, every single time we find ourselves doing something a little bit different.
Right. Yeah. So sounds like we have been thinking about a mentoring process for people who get trained. Maybe we always need some form, like you say, of communication that people can feel like they have somebody to talk to about that particular issue, that particular collection they're working with. Okay, so we go to the last one. So what did you come up with here, or do you have a chance to think about this? I just want to say too, if we have those sheets of paper, we can just hand out these little sheets of scrap paper, see if you have more feedback and you didn't get a chance to say something or say something in the group, just do it and pass it up. And what about this one?
So we'll try to answer any other questions.
I guess originally we're going to use those for you for questions, but I think, well, questions and feedback, let's just do both, yeah. So feedback on things that we might not have recorded, things that you're thinking of before you leave the room. So for this one, did you have a chance to talk about it, or?
We just talked about sustainability over time. You know, by having a local group organized together, we can be that kind of like a foundation for the local people to come back to, and vice versa. You can just keep building upon that day.
So building upon the day, like having
Follow up, basically.
follow up with the groups. All right, also talk about networking people who are,
Like the local folks would have a network, you know, for support.
using the networks that exist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because after the day, it's like, well, then what? You know?
right. So what do you think the impact would be if you did the follow-up and you were able to network? What would be the impact? Yeah.
Well, for that, I mean, like, it's preservation of our history of our region. But I also think, you know, if we have those connections within our communities, that also would be really fundable and would really be attractive to renters and might be able to help us sort of sustain these archives through funding.
So you feel like that call model would make sense to funders, might be something you could sell in the region? What else? Yeah.
The concept of follow-up came up with us as well. The fact that the call would bring awareness to existing resources within the community, and that if this was a repeated event, maybe even an annual event within the community, that people would start realizing what is available to them and using it. And also partnering with other organizations, hosting these sort of events regionally with other conferences, and using the other existing resources.
Other organizations and other conferences? Yeah.
Kind of building off that, I think it would be important to really partner with the state level organizations, simply because then it could be maybe integrated into their annual meeting, that a day, or not in their meeting, but maybe a day after, that they actually go to one of the regions in their own state to do this. I think it would also be interesting to think about the scalability into a two-day model, where it would be, let's say, a Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday, where that first day people start gaining confidence, so the second day they can actually produce a lot more and get a real sense of accomplishment.
Can I just get a show of hands? What was the original question was, or the original proposal was that the community archives community archiving workshops would build regional networks, help to build regional networks for preservation and access. Could I just get a show of hands as to how many people think that might be not a benefit, but a result? So maybe about half? Okay. And the rest of you think maybe not? That it wouldn't necessarily work on a regional level, or do you think it's something entirely different? It just, that would not be an impact, a regional, yeah. Okay, good to know, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I missed the hand raising part, but I think I think for cities, regional locals definitely can be better, but if we talk about maybe CAW in terms of more rural settings, regionals obviously probably going to be the way to go. It might be beneficial.
So you're seeing that that would be a way to connect people in a region, or you're?
Sorry, I guess maybe I missed enough, and now I'm just
Rural cause would be
spouting.
more beneficial than
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think if you're just doing COD in a rural environment,
AJ, say what you said in our group. Gentrification.
oh, sorry, okay. Yeah, I think for those of us who live in cities that are rapidly gentrifying, CAW is definitely a way to bring groups together that are being heavily impacted by that, and sort of, as Yvonne fleshed out more, bringing that sort of underlying social justice idea more to the fore.
The concept of cultural appropriation came up in our talks as well, using the CAW to help navigate those issues.
To navigate cultural appropriation, could you say a little more on that?
Who brought this up in our?
That
would you
was
like to
me.
speak about this?
Well, I think that there's a danger that we could have conversations that, where we're the experts and we come in and want to, our voices are heard over the voices of the community, the majoritarian, so.
Yeah, and I think we've been more or less successful with local people who are with the organization or locally being part of the CAW. So that's something, I know it's a concern we've talked about. So I know it's just like 10:30 now, but I wanted to see, I want to ask you, if we were to do the workshops, how many days would you think would be, do you think it'd need more than, we're thinking more than 1 day. Would you come if it was 2 days? Would you come if it was 3 days? That would be harder.
I would come if it was 3 days, but not 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
Okay. And would you, what if there was some on-site and online component, maybe we did something, would that help, or so not so much? Any other feedback about like structure? Just briefly, anybody have any ideas? If we were to come up with a curriculum and deliver it, would you?
Well, one thing just in hearing, and as someone who is not an archivist but has worked with archivists, the idea, we've tried in our organization to be trained to sort of do these things ourselves, but then no one ever has the time for it, they don't really know what they're doing, they don't end up doing it, and people are being trained and going to school for these things. I don't want to be taught how to do it myself. I want to continue to use archivists and to get them paid to do that. I don't know if that.
So I don't know if you could hear what about that. Well, the last thing was, let's not take work away from archivists. Are people busy to be able to do this? How could it be done? What we were thinking of was having people apply in pairs. So you apply where 2 or maybe even 3 people together, and then you commit to doing 2 calls. One with a mentor, so you're mentored with someone through the process, and then one that you can do afterwards in your region. So there'd be two. In order to be able to be supported to come, I mean, it's different. It can be delivered in some other kind of informal way. Yeah.
One thing that really emerged from my group was that there was a lot of expertise around the circle that maybe they hadn't done community archiving workshops before, but they had definitely done things that would be relevant in terms of all the skills and knowledge that we've talked about. So I think we had talked about some kind of communications channel to share knowledge as opposed to it being sort of more experienced CAW people mentoring people who haven't done CAW, because everybody was bringing different expertise.
Okay. So there's a lot of expertise in this room.
It's more like a sharing model, I think,
So, I mean, how many people feel like, maybe I don't know if we already asked this, but how many people feel like they could today carry out a CAW by themselves or with a partner? So a fair number, so, yeah, so are you going to do it then? Or
Only if you come, Mona. I'll get back to you after I graduate.
Okay, so a fair number feel like they could do it themselves or with a partner, yeah. So, and are there people that would be interested in coming to a training?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. So even people who think they could do it now still would be interested in having some form of training. Does it make sense to do some form of training here at the AMIA or where?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know we have to stop. So thank you everybody so much.
next session is at 11 a.m. It's called Real Talk, and it's about best practices, and we've got Ryan, and thank you for being here.